This is Maggie's 2014 Jeep Wrangler. Now, she's had her Jeep for a long time and she absolutely loves it. However, there is something on this vehicle that needs some desperate attention. And she has absolutely no idea that we are going to get that fixed for her today.
So since we are in the season of giving, might as well give some bloody knuckles, a handful of swear words, and just a little bit of time to help Maggie out with her Jeep and get some new suspension installed. Let's get to it.
Now this thing just ticked over 133,000 miles and its stock suspension is well past its expiration date. Now Maggie's been talking about getting some new suspension for a while and was actually really excited about the thought of a lift kit, but it just never really panned out. So when her dad came to me a couple weeks ago asking if there was anything Maggie had really been wanting for Christmas this year, we schemed up the plan to get her Jeep the lift kit that it needed. Now if you know me and you've been following the channel, you'll know that lifting things and working on Jeeps is not what I'm used to. And on top of that, since Maggie has no idea that this is happening, I had to come up with an excuse to separate her and her Jeep for the day while we attempt to finish this thing in about 6 hours. Taking what I learned from installing coilovers and suspension on cars, the front usually gives me the most issues, so might as well start there. These front shocks are held on by one nut on the top. However, getting to it isn't the greatest since there's pretty much the smallest space in the world and a ton of plastic in the way. Plus, for whatever reason, the metric nut that was supposed to be there was not metric. I don't know why. All I know is that I needed to grab a new set of standard size wrenches, which I did. Armed with the right tools, a can of PB Blaster, and some good old Midwestern body weight, we were able to get these front shocks out. After wrestling with the front axle for entirely way too long, I realized that the sway bar end links needed to be disconnected, which allowed me to force the axle down enough to slip the coil spring out. Now, the kit that we decided to swap this out with was the Rough Country 2.5-inch lift kit, which includes a new set of coil springs and their N3 shocks. This kit is definitely a bit more on the entry-level side of things. However, after talking with some friends who know truck suspension quite a bit, we figured this 2.5-inch lift would be just fine. Now, I'm not gonna lie, these front coil springs kicked my ass. A good majority of my time was spent trying to get these things in. I just couldn't seem to get the axle to drop down far enough to give me enough room. But after loosening up pretty much everything and using my big boy strength, I was able to finally get it to fit. And trust me, I know the spring looks a bit weird here, but once everything was back in, it lined up a lot better. Next up was to install the new shocks. Now fortunately, these went in a lot smoother than the coil springs did, and I didn't have to fight with them nearly as much. Went ahead and took everything that I learned from working on the passenger side and of course repeated it on the driver's side. And then took a breather to realize how much of a mess I've already made and to check the time. So yeah, the front took me entirely way too long. And at this point, I was starting to get worried that I would be able to get this done in time.
Okay, so here's the thing. The goal was to have this wrapped up by the time Maggie gets home. It is currently 3:09. We just wrapped up the front end of the Jeep. Of course, how everything goes working on vehicles, everything took 10 times longer than it should have. I've never done this type of stuff before and hit about every roadblock I could, not being able to get the coil springs in, having to run and get different tools, even though it said it took metric, but it uses standard sizes. I don't know. So we got the front, I think, wrapped up to the best of my ability. It is currently 3:09. Maggie gets home around 5. We have the entire rear end to do. If it doesn't go smoothly, I don't know what we're gonna do.
With under 2 hours left to go, my only hope was that the rear was not going to give me nearly as many issues as the front did.
Currently 4:15. Rear is officially out. Went a lot smoother than the front did as far as coming out. Didn't have to fight with the coil springs nearly as much. Probably just because I just jacked up the whole rear end at once in the first place instead of doing it side by side. If you're doing a lift on a Jeep, just lift the whole damn thing at once. I'm telling you, it's gonna be way easier. Put it all up in the air, drop everything. You're gonna save yourself a lot of a headache. So that leaves us about 45 minutes to put the new stuff in. Probably a little bit longer because Maggie said she's stopping at Michael's, pick up some last minute stuff. So I'd say that gives us about another extra 15 to 30 minutes, hopefully. I think we might actually be able to make the cut here and hopefully get everything cleaned up so it's not just a disaster when we go to surprise her with it. Now the trick here is to hope that everything is installed correctly and we don't have to do this again. Okay, it is currently 5 o'clock. It is literally 5 o'clock. Maggie just messaged me. She is on her way back from Michael's. She's on her way home. I just got the rears installed. We just have to throw the wheels on, clean up a bit. I think we're just gonna make it. We gotta go. With the final minutes closing, I saw the light at the end of the tunnel. I just needed to get these damn dual drilled wheels lined up. And somehow the jack was being lowered for the final time, which only meant that the installation was complete.
I have to be quiet because I'm pretty sure she's in the house, but this thing looks so much better. I cannot believe it. And we literally just caught it under the wire. I think she's gonna take Millie for a walk, which gives us the perfect amount of time to clean up the garage, and then we're gonna surprise her with it. So I'm just going to go grab her, and hopefully she notices. Be a little awkward if she didn't, but I mean, it is a 2.5-inch lift, so it's nothing too crazy, but this is something she's wanted for a long, long time. So really happy that we were able to get this done. I'm gonna go grab her. So I have a surprise for you. I've been working really hard on it. I'm working all day on it.
You look like you've been working all day on it.
Yes, non-stop working on it, but it's done. I can't believe it's done. Are you ready? It's in the garage. I can't bring it in.
Okay.
But it's in the garage.
Okay.
I'm gonna just have you stay here. I'm gonna go out there I'm gonna give you the all clear.
Okay.
I'm gonna have you come out, okay?
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Whenever you're ready. Look, go check it out.
Holy shit! Oh my god!
I'm glad you noticed because it's not a huge difference, but honestly, it's more than I expected. But
a lot.
yeah.
Holy shit! Oh my god!
So, I'm not the only one to thank for this.
Okay.
Your parents had a huge help in this. Talked with your dad. He was like, I really want to get something for Maggie for the Jeep. What can I get her? And I said that you've always been wanting to get a lift kit for it. I know the suspension was pretty shot, so he pitched in for the lift kit. I installed it. Joint present.
Oh, thank you.
I honestly can't believe I got it done because the front took until about 3.
Really?
Yeah, like when I messaged you, like, when are you gonna be home? I had just finished the front and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna get this done tonight.
Aw, so you lied?
I did.
You lied about this money?
I tried my
That's
best.
why you needed my vehicle?
I did, yeah. I didn't have to go drop stuff off at a storage unit, surprisingly.
Okay. This is a good lie. Thank you.
Is it good?
Yeah, I love it. Yay.
Should be a little better for it. What you think, Mel? What you think, Mel?
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Where are the old ones?
In the box. Yeah.
Nice. I feel like those are probably 2 seconds away from snapping. Thank you. Hi. Thank you for the big gift.
Okay, it's all put on. Is the Jeep a little higher?
Yeah,
Did you notice it right away, or did he have to tell you?
I noticed it right away.
Well, let us know how it rides, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Ho, ho, ho.
We love you.
I love you too. Thank you. Mwah.
Thank you, Alex.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
So even though it was down to the wire, we were able to successfully install the new suspension kit for Maggie's Jeep, and I don't think she could be any happier with how it turned out, and I couldn't be any happier with how it turned out. And honestly, I have found a new respect for any of you out there who work on trucks or lift your vehicles, because my God, did this absolutely kick my ass. I'm still recovering. I'm super sore. I got cuts and bruises everywhere. I don't know how you guys manage to do that all the time, so props to you guys. And of course, if you made it this far in the video, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're a returning viewer to the channel, you know this is a little bit out of the ordinary to work on Jeep stuff, but I promise we'll get back to the car content very, very soon. I got some exciting things in the works for you guys. It's just taking some time to put the things in places, and I promise we'll get there. It's coming very, very soon. Shout out Gary and Darla for pitching in the kit. What an awesome Christmas present to get, and I'm very thankful to be able to help out and surprise Maggie with this new lift kit for her Jeep. I know she already absolutely loves it. So if you're watching this when it comes out, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to all of you watching. Thank Thank you so much again. Hope you guys have a great one. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.